Have you ever pondered upon the real-life implications of a war, particularly the one currently unfolding in Ukraine? It's one thing to hear about it on the news, but to truly grasp the gravity of the situation, we need to dive deeper. We need to understand the chronology, the impact on bustling cities, the struggle of the common people, and the international response. So let's embark on a journey to comprehend the war's unfiltered reality. In this video, we will walk through the chronological events of this ongoing conflict. The war in Ukraine didn't erupt overnight. It was a gradual escalation, a slow-burning fuse that was lit by a series of events, each one more concerning than the last. The path to conflict was paved with political disagreements and social unrest. It began with a familiar narrative, the struggle for power and influence. Ukraine, positioned between the East and the West, found itself in the crosshairs of larger geopolitical forces. The nation was torn between diverging paths, each offering a different future and identity. In the years leading up to the war, tensions simmered and occasionally boiled over. There were protests and counter-protests, each side fervently arguing their stance. The world watched as the nation grappled with its identity, its destiny hanging in the balance. Political decisions were made that exacerbated the situation. Policies were introduced that did little to quell the rising discontent. Instead, they only seemed to fan the flames. The government's stance on key issues drew criticism from both inside and outside the country. These decisions, whether right or wrong, only served to deepen the divide. There were key incidents that escalated the situation further. Actions were taken that were seen as provocations by some and necessary steps by others. These incidents, some of them violent, others more subtle, added fuel to the already raging fire. The social context behind these events is crucial to understanding the conflict. For many Ukrainians, this was about more than just politics. It was about their culture, their history, and their future. It was about choosing a path that reflected the nation they wanted to be. But in the end, the decision was made for them, and thus, a full-blown conflict was ignited, dramatically changing life as the Ukrainians knew it. The impact of the war has been particularly devastating in Ukraine's big cities. Major urban centers like Kyiv, Donetsk, and Luhansk have been hit hardest by the conflict. These cities, once vibrant hubs of culture and commerce, have been transformed into battlegrounds. Imagine streets that once echoed with the hustle and bustle of daily life, now echoing with the sounds of gunfire and explosions. The bombings have been incessant, causing untold damage. Buildings that once touched the sky, now reduced to rubble. Landmarks that held historical significance, now just memories etched in the hearts of those who once lived there. The infrastructure, the very veins and arteries of these cities, has been severely impacted. Roads, bridges, power plants, water supply systems, all have been targeted, leaving the cities struggling to function. Evacuations have become a part of life. Thousands have been forced to flee their homes, leaving behind their lives, their memories, their dreams. They escape with nothing more than the clothes on their backs and the hope of returning to a home that still stands. The human toll has been unimaginable. Lives have been lost, families torn apart, futures uncertain. The indomitable spirit of the city dwellers, however, remains unbroken. Amid the debris and the destruction, they continue to forge ahead, determined to rebuild their cities, their lives. But the war has not just left physical scars, it has also left emotional ones. The trauma of living in a war zone, of waking up to the sounds of bombings, of not knowing if you'll see the end of the day, is something that will take years, if not decades, to heal. The cities, however, refuse to be defined by the war. They're more than just the damage, the destruction, the despair. They're about resilience, about hope, about the indomitable human spirit that refuses to be quashed. The once bustling cities now bear the scars of war. But remember, scars are not just reminders of the pain endured. They're also symbols of survival, of resilience, of the ability to heal and rebuild. And that's what these cities, these people are all about. The war has not just transformed cities, but has also drastically altered the lives of the Ukrainian population. A humanitarian crisis of unprecedented scale is unfolding in the heart of Ukraine. The once bustling cities are now arenas of struggle, where every day is a battle for survival. The war has ripped apart the fabric of everyday life. Food, a basic necessity we often take for granted, has become a scarce resource. Supermarkets stand empty, their shelves stripped bare. Families are forced to ration their supplies, and the specter of hunger looms large over the population. But the struggle doesn't end there. The war has also ravaged the healthcare system. Hospitals, once symbols of hope and healing, are now overwhelmed with casualties. Medical supplies are running low, and access to essential healthcare has become a luxury few can afford. This has put an immense strain on the already distressed population, as they grapple with not just the wounds of war but also the everyday health challenges. The war has also triggered a mass displacement of people. Homes have been reduced to rubble and neighborhoods to ghost towns. Thousands have been forced to abandon the life they once knew and flee to safer areas, often with nothing more than the clothes on their back. This displacement has left a once thriving population grappling with loss, uncertainty, and the harsh reality of life as refugees. Yet amidst all this chaos and despair, there is a glimmer of hope. The Ukrainian people, known for their indomitable spirit, are not giving up. They are braving the odds, standing up to the challenges, and showing a resilience that is nothing short of inspiring. They are proving that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can shine the brightest. The strength and resilience of the Ukrainian people continue to shine through, even in the face of such adversity. In the midst of this crisis, the international community has stepped up to provide aid and support. Nations near and far have come together to alleviate the hardships faced by the people affected by this conflict. This aid comes in various forms, showcasing the versatility and resilience of humanity under duress. Food supplies, a basic necessity, have been airlifted in from around the globe. These provisions are crucial in ensuring that no one goes hungry in these trying times. The simple act of sharing food is a profound statement of international solidarity. Medical supplies are another form of crucial aid. The world's healthcare organizations have rallied together, sending in tons of medicines, bandages, and other medical essentials. Doctors Without Borders, nurses, and medical volunteers from all corners of the world have stepped in, working tirelessly to heal the wounded and care for the sick. Shelters have been erected for those who've lost their homes to the war. These temporary homes, though humble, provide a much-needed refuge from the harsh realities of the conflict. It's a testament to the global community's commitment to ensuring that everyone has a safe place to rest their head at night. But aid isn't just material. The international community is also exerting political pressure on the warring parties. Diplomatic channels are being utilized, negotiations are being held, and sanctions are being considered. The goal is clear: to bring this conflict to an end, to cease hostilities, and to return peace to the region. In these difficult times, the world is stepping up, demonstrating that compassion and cooperation can triumph over conflict and chaos. It's a powerful reminder that we are all interconnected, that what affects one of us affects us all. The world watches and waits, offering help where it can, hoping for a peaceful resolution. As the war rages on, questions about its duration and long-term impact remain. It's hard to predict with certainty what the future holds, but it's not out of place to consider potential scenarios for how this conflict could reach its denouement. One possibility is a diplomatic resolution. Ongoing peace talks represent a glimmer of hope amid the chaos. These negotiations, however, are not without their challenges. The complex geopolitical landscape, the divergent interests of the warring parties, and the deep-seated historical grievances all contribute to the delicate nature of these talks. Yet the success of these discussions holds the potential to usher in an era of peace and stability. Another scenario to consider is the escalation of the conflict, leading to a protracted war. This could result in a further strain on resources, an increase in civilian casualties, and a deepening humanitarian crisis. This is a grim prospect, but one that cannot be completely ruled out given the unpredictability of war. In any case, it's important to remember that the war's outcome will have far-reaching implications, not just for Ukraine, but for the entire global community. It will shape international relations, influence global security dynamics, and impact economies around the world. The future may be uncertain, but the hope for peace remains. As we navigate these turbulent times, let's keep our eyes on the horizon where a dawn of peace could be breaking. The war in Ukraine is a complex and evolving situation. We've explored its inception, the profound impact on the larger cities, the struggles faced by the population, and the international aid that's being provided. We've also speculated on the war's future. As we continue to monitor the situation, let us not forget the human faces behind this conflict and the resilience of the Ukrainian people.